Hi guys, so Boris Johnson and Keir Starmer clashed in Parliament on Wednesday during PMQs. Now towards the end of PMQs, Keir Starmer took out a piece of paper and read from it. Now this piece of paper was the Wellingborough Conservative News, their latest newsletter. Now it's an amazing read and I found a copy of it on Twitter, so let's have a look at it together. So you can see here on the front page, of course, we have the military. The Conservatives like to present themselves as the party of the military. So let's go to the first page. It shows here what we can learn from Trump. So this has been talked about how the Conservative Party under Boris Johnson is attempting to emulate Donald Trump's style. The idea of, criticizing the media, criticizing the left, criticizing everyone who's not within the Conservative Party as extreme. So it says here, make speeches more human. So this is hilarious. Okay, most voters turn off when a UK politician makes a speech it is the same in the US. The reason for that is most speeches are drafted and edited until all spontaneity has gone. Further, politicians are so scared of offending or making untrue statements that they resort to saying almost nothing. Of course, Boris Johnson doesn't do this. The result is that speeches become content-free. Speeches should engage with and entertain the undecided voters. This means being willing to take risks and with speeches, about being agile enough to row back if the audience does not approve. What have you got to lose? Your opponents will vote against you anyway. Your supporters will vote for you anyway. The undecided might be motivated to vote for you. The non-voters might be persuaded to go and vote for you. The only real risk is that you increase the turnout for your opponents. Sometimes it's a risk worth taking. So this is what the Conservative Party in this particular area are promoting. But let's go on. Fight wokeism. Now, I've raised this on numerous occasions. You see it being talked about in Parliament, the idea of we shouldn't be talking about the history of particular buildings, whether they are connected to slavery or whatever. So continually push this idea, because you see here they haven't started off with provide something to the public in order to convince them to vote for you. Think of great policies. No, this is all about image. So it starts off by saying many voters are heartily sick of being lectured to by very left-wing presenters in the media. The process of embedding wokeism in popular dramas, Doctor Who, for example, has alienated many audiences. Positive discrimination and other forms of officially tolerated racism infuriate many voters. An example of the deep state wokeism is the 2010 Equalities Act. It actually legalized discrimination in politics again based on gender. Labour put this into act because they wanted to discriminate and didn't want to break their own law. So, okay, this is so ridiculous. Okay, and you have seen a lot of examples of politicians standing up in Parliament talking about, I'm fighting the wokeism. These types of memos are given out to MPs as well, and MPs are prepared on what issues they should talk about, what issues they should avoid. Support the working class as well as the middle classes. A large chunk of the electorate, 20% or even possibly 40%, are being left behind by automation, the digital economy and globalization. That's true. Those people have one vote each, just like the middle classes. Their turnout in elections has been very low in recent decades, but if they can be motivated, then they can be a powerful voice. That's why Labour's northern red wall is now our blue wall. You didn't actually provide anything to them. You're just saying that we need to convince these people to turn out. You don't actually have to provide them with policies that will help them. You just have to motivate them. And what greater motivation is there than anger? The left is is woke. We need to fight against that. They're undermining British values. Well, we're going to see some more examples of the rhetoric that they're going to use. So, rapid rebuttal. Fake news often makes headlines and crowds out genuine news. Really? Honest politicians therefore find themselves pushed off the front pages. Stand-up comedians have the answer to fake news. They all have to learn how to deal with the loudmouth hecklers in the audience. If they don't learn, then their careers die very quickly. So, you say the first thing that comes into your head. And Keir Starmer mentioned this in PMQs. So it'll probably be nonsense, but it knocks your opponent out of their stride and takes away their headline. This is quite clever. So if you're doing a debate, or if you're arguing your point and there's another politician there, say something ridiculous, because it confuses them and it focuses the attention on you. You then have a few seconds, possibly minutes, to reword it, say that you misspoke, or you were misheard, or whatever. And you'll see this very often where politicians, especially when they're interviewed in the media, will say something ridiculous, and then they're able to reword it and shift the conversation in a direction that they're more comfortable with talking about, onto an issue that they're more comfortable talking about. You may get bad headlines saying that you spoke something silly, but you can live that down. Meanwhile, your opponent is knocked off the news feed. This is all about attracting attention. Look at, for example, people like Sir Desmond Swayne. Sir Desmond Swayne was a nobody until recently. Now he was recently interviewed on Channel 4. So he's becoming quite popular because he says ridiculous things. The media want ridiculous people because they attract viewers. It runs counter to everything that traditional politicians are taught. Never say that this is not a 100% accurate. The problem is that 100% right, 2 weeks late equals defeat. Not sure what they mean there. Sometimes it's better to give the wrong answer at the right time than the right answer at the wrong time. And that's all we have there from this. I think this is a snippet. It's not the entire. It's not the entire newsletter, but it does give you a bit of an insight into the thinking of the Conservative Party today under Boris Johnson. It's not about providing policies that help people. It's about distracting people. It's about distracting your opponent. It's about distracting the public, convincing the public that you are on their side. You are arguing against, the wokeism or far left students or whatever, the media. It's about convincing people that you're on their side. It's not actually providing policies that will help those people. In many cases, it's the absolute opposite, where you're implementing policies that will undermine and damage those people who you want to vote for you. But I think this is quite an insight. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you thought of all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?